Welcome to TruckU. So this is a pretty cool day because as far as our shop is concerned, this is our first look at the new Ecoboost engine from Ford. All right, so here's what we got. 2013 F-150. It lists out at like $46,000 and some change. You gotta love it. And it's got about 1.5 miles on it, and we're gonna start tearing it up.
I love it, love it, love it. You know, this Ecoboost engine, what's inside here is really a push for what's, current in demand these days. You want an engine that's more fuel efficient and has less environmental gases, less damage to our environment, right?
Sure.
You know, traditionally you'd find a truck like this is something that's got a lot of power, a lot of torque, and that usually means a V8 that's naturally aspirated. Well, today, Ford has got these V6 engines that can give you comparable power, comparable torque, and they do it with a lot less fuel waste and a lot less environmental damage. And the way they're doing that is with twin turbochargers, man. It's pretty cool.
Now the interesting thing is, as these engine evolves, so does the entire aftermarket industry, and that's what's going on right now. And we've got some of those parts that we're going to add onto this thing today. So we're talking about a tuner, and we're talking about a new exhaust, and we're going right into your wheelhouse with some inner workings on the turbos.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool, man. There's a lot of potential here, man. A lot of untapped potential. This could be a fun project.
It's like clay. You're molding. So we mentioned that we're doing some performance upgrades on this Ecoboost F-150, right? It all starts down here at the bottom of the engine. What we're going to do is rip out this stock exhaust and replace it with a new one from Solo Performance. Now the nice thing about the replacement one going in is the fact that it's cat back, so we're not messing with any of that stuff up there, not throwing up any codes or lights, right?
Yeah, usually when you get and start dealing with cats is when you start throwing off lights, and that can be a whole bunch of problems, especially with a new vehicle. And it seems like every model year they throw more and more warning indicators and all kinds of issues on, so we're going to stay away from all that. And the whole idea with the Solo Performance exhaust is we're going to get performance, because when you talk about a forced air induction system, you want to get nice clean air getting out. Any kind of restrictions, you can have what you call back pressure with a turbocharger, and that's not going to allow you to get good clean boost into the engine. Good clean boost means good clean horsepower, so the better exhaust flow we get out, the more power we're going to be able to get in. Right. And that's magnified when you talk about forced induction. I think I got it all but just one bolt here, man.
Speaking of getting out, you ready to take this thing out?
Hold on, hold on.
Now, you know what's cool is, as we pull this out, you got it there?
Hold on a second, son.
I'm good up here, dude. I don't know what the problem is.
All right.
This flex joint in the stock exhaust is kind of nice to help us get it in and out. Unfortunately, after about 8 or 9 years, that'd probably be the first thing to go.
Yeah.
But
for now, it's a bonus.
How are you doing there, Hope?
I am doing good. It's a bit cumbersome.
Well, on your end.
Get any curls in there?
I think I got one. I'm really feeling the burn. Now, when it comes to the replacement options that we have for this exhaust from Solo Performance, we've got two different options we can go, right? We can go with this single 4-inch exhaust that goes all the way back, goes through this muffler here, which has very little restriction, so we'll get good performance out of that. However, with this particular one, it's a little bit louder, a little bit more aggressive sounding, which a lot of people will like that. They'll want to go that direction, but if you don't, and you want to keep it a little bit more quieter with the same performance, you can go with the Mach Dual right here.
So what you've got is a 3-inch out, and that's what we're starting off with. Now, there's a big challenge when it comes to this Ecoboost engine, and that is you've got a lot of harmonics built inside of it, so it becomes a point of trying to get performance, and you don't want to sacrifice a drone inside the cab. So the way they do that is they've got a Y coming into the muffler, and once they get inside the muffler, they do an X pattern, and that balances out the pulses of the engine. Be able to do that, you get that performance, you get rid of that drone, and you can look inside here, you can see what that design looks like. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty sophisticated, and what's nice is too, they take it to the next level. It's all TIG welded, they're using stainless steel, they've got the great looking tips on it, and it's all manual bent.
Absolutely.
Now it's just a matter of putting it in.
So the Y and the X. You really know your ABCs.
And the PDQs. All right, this is a little bit lighter than the one we just took out.
Somewhat less cumbersome, yes? So we've got this ball socket right on the end, and that seals up real nice. All you want to do is just double check and make sure that you didn't drop it and put a dent in it and affect the seal or anything, but this one's all good. And this will go in, we can turn it up.
Now, with any exhaust system, what you want to do is get the major components hung in place before you start tightening things down. Don't get ahead of yourself, because you'll have a hard time getting things to fit. This way, if we just hang it all here, we can configure and wiggle everything around just like we need it. Now, once we'll set here, I'm going to slide the muffler on. This thing should go together pretty quickly. I want to show you guys something real quick, and that is these clamps we're going to be using. Now, these are stainless steel, and what they're going to allow us to do, or allow you to do if you wanted to, is made up 2 pieces of tube if you had to without having a flanged end. It'll literally wrap around, the 2 tubes will butt into each other, and this will seal it up good in place. All you'd have to do is tack weld it around it. Now what we're going to do is we've got a flange end here on the muffler, which is nice, but when we wrap it around, we're going to tack weld it as well. This way it'll just be a little bit more secure. We don't have to worry about anything getting loose once we're under here.
All right, I think I got this held on there. All right, we're going to go to break right now. When we come back, we'll keep working on the Solo Performance dual exhaust. You know, I saw a news story today that said 50% of American pets are overweight, dude.
I can believe it, man.
You got a fat dog?
No, but I've seen yours.
Yeah. Well, mine's like 14 years old.
You got your side done yet?
I'm waiting on you. Hey, welcome back to TruckU. So today's pretty cool because it's the first time that we've had the opportunity to work on a 2013 F-150 with the Ecoboost engine. So this is cool. What we want to do is kind of just step up the performance today, right? So the first order of business was this new exhaust that we got from Solo Performance. Let me slide this up there. You hold that?
Yeah, we've got this thing mostly in place, and you know, in factory configuration, it was a single exhaust coming back, and we split it to 3-inch dual exhaust. Now, with one side, my side was easy. You know, that's the passenger side because Ford, well, they already laid the foundation, man. You just run through the same place we were. We got the same mounting locations. You don't have to worry about anything. They got the heat shields in place. When it comes to the other side, the guys at Solo Performance had to do a little bit of innovation because you need to put a heat shield on like they did to protect the spare tire as well as these brake lines. You don't want to have, you know, hot exhaust up against a brake line. It's not going to end well.
No, they did a lot of research and development, and I like the way everything's placed on here. You know, one of the issues that they're having with these later model vehicles is a lot of drone inside the cab. So we saw that with the stock exhaust. They had the big old resonator there. That's how the factory dealt with it. Well, what's nice about this particular system is no resonator. It's nice and sleek, nice and small going through there. And through the design and the technology, they figured out how to get the higher performance and get rid of the drone.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds. And the look looks good too. It's got that, you know, kind of a mean, aggressive stance with the two exhausts, or dual exhausts coming out either side, the nice stainless steel polished tips, man. It's a nice bonus to this truck. It's going to allow us to get more performance out of that engine as well.
Yep, Solo Performance, dude. Looking good back there.
We just got to tighten it all down. All right, our Solo Performance exhaust is in, it is done, it's gonna sound good, it's gonna perform well. Now it's just a matter of giving it a little bit added insurance. So what we're gonna do is tack weld on either side of these new clamps. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier at how we're gonna do that, and what it will do is allow this to stay nice and tight. It's gonna be a permanent fix where it can never pull apart. All it takes is a few tack welds and we are done. We can move on.
Earlier, Bruno was talking about the fact that the Ecoboost engine is actually smaller, but still makes the same power as a bigger engine, or close to it, right? And it does that with the use of these turbos right here. Now, here's the deal. When you get Bruno talking about turbos, you might as well just leave the room.
I appreciate you walking away because this might take a second. Now, what you want to do if you want to get an upgrade to these turbos is you take out the factory ones, package them up and send them to the guys at Walsh Motorsports, because in a matter of a few days, you're going to get back basically a brand new turbo that's going to be much more efficient and make a ton more power. And the way they're doing that is by working with the guys at Precision Turbo. Now, I'm pretty familiar with these guys. They've proved themselves in the racing world, powered me to 2 world championships, so I speak highly of them. That same race-winning technology is now going into their production turbochargers. So what they're doing basically is changing the compressor wheel. Here are 2 factory ones you get from Ford. These are the upgraded ones from Precision. I know they look alike, but there are some serious differences between these 2 little wheels. Now, you've got a right and a left-handed turbo, so you need wheels going the correct direction. That's just a little thing. What you're looking at inside these wheels, really, it's all about the fins and the fin angles. So this is a 6-blade design is what they call it. The new ones from Precision are going to be a 7-blade design. When you talk about power out of these things, you're talking about the ability to get it to spool up faster, making more boost pressure, which is going to be more power. I know at first glance you might think, wow, how can a little wheel like this really make a difference? Well, in my race car, we picked up 100 horsepower when the guys at Precision upgraded my compressor wheel. So the compressor wheel goes down into here, and when you send these to the guys at Walsh Motorsports, what they're going to do is not only put in these new compressor wheels, but they're going to upgrade the whole turbo. They're going to go through it, put new seals, make sure that this thing is set, and it's basically like a brand new high horsepower turbo coming back to you, which will really bring this Ecoboost engine to life.
You feel good, huh?
I feel really good.
I thought you needed some alone time, you know? Hey, another cool thing that the guys at Precision Turbo are doing is they're building these upgraded intercoolers. So it's great for an application like this with a truck because odds are pretty good you're going to be doing some towing. So you've got more power, you're working hard, pulling that heavy trailer, things are getting hotter. That's where the intercooler comes in and it cools those charge temperatures back down because ideally you want all that air as cool as possible, right? More horsepower, that's the name of the game. So you got that combination between the turbos and the intercooler going right there. It's a nice deal.
Yeah, you get all this stuff from the guys at Walsh Motorsports.
Yep, now we need to go to break right now, but when we come back, more work on the F-150. Woo!
Sounds good, man.
It does sound good. I like it. All right, let me reel it in. Let me bring it down. All right, cool. Ugh.